Welcome back to another episode of Justin's Pull List here on Capes and Tights, the bonus episode. We talk what I'm going to buy this week at my local comic book shop, Galactic Comics and Collectibles on Hammond Street in Bangor, Maine. Yes, I'm located in Maine, if you didn't know already, here in rural Maine, up in Bangor. So these lists come out once a week on Mondays, right around 3 o'clock usually. You can get it on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, our website, capesandtights.com. You can see links on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter as well to find us as well. So, excuse me, I just had a bunch of coffee, so I'm a little excited, a little amped up to start the week. And so, pretty big list for me this week at Galactic Comics when I pick up my comic books. As I like to do every week when I do these things, is just a little preface. I do not buy DC Comics. Again, I just am more of a fan of Marvel. Image, Boom, Black Caravan, Scout, IDW. Those are the books I usually buy. Not to saying anything wrong with DC Comics. I'm just saying I just don't buy DC Comics, so it wouldn't be part of Justin's pull list. There will be occasional times where I'll pull up a DC comic that I have heard scuttlebutt about that I should, tell people to buy, but I'm not actually going to physically buy it. So I want to be more genuine on what I buy, and this is exactly what I do buy on Wednesdays. And sometimes I add some things when I'm there and I see it on the shelf. But typically, this is my list that I send in to Paul over at Galactic to pick up every week. So this is the list. You ready for it? Here we go. So this week, I'll be picking up the key issue, I think, this week that we talk about is Amazing Spider-Man number 74. It is actually also Legacy number 875. I'll be picking up the cover A of this one. There'll be many different covers of this one that Marvel's been doing for these Legacy kind of every 25 or 50 issues, obviously, and 25 more issues of the Amazing Spider-Man, whether they start off with the number 1 again or continue this on. It'll be issue number 99 and it'll be issue number 900. So we'll be looking forward to that as well. But issue number 74 is the issue this week that I'll be picking up. That's like the number 1 issue. And I'll get into a little bit more about what is going on in issue 74 slash 875 when I get through the rest of this list. But otherwise, I'm getting Amazing Fantasy number 3, adding on to that series. It's a 5-part mini-series. Going to pick that up as well this week. Again, these are one of the ones that the 5-part mini-series, a lot of times I wait until the end of the 5th comic book to come out and I'll read all of them at once. Black Cat number 10. Berserker number 5 is Keanu Reeves' book. It's a 12-part book. It's his issue number 5. Those are pretty fun. He usually puts out a couple of cover A, cover B, and then some cover C and D, or usually the foil versions of cover A and cover B. Pretty fun artwork, great book. I'm excited to it. I love the fact that it looks like Keanu Reeves is the person. So I'm looking forward to picking that book up this week and reading that. Crossover number 8, great series. Love Crossover. Excited for number 8 to come out. Looking forward to that issue. Department of Truth number 13, amazing James Tynion book. I love it. I love the conspiracy theorist part of it, all that stuff. So I'm looking forward to Department of Truth number 13. Extreme Carnage Omega number 1. That's cover A I'll be getting, and the Scotty Young cover, because he did every one of these Extreme Carnage little series variant covers, and I love Scotty Young, as most of you know, or listeners. Miles Morales number 30. Nonstop Spider-Man number 5. Spawn 322 keeps going with the record-breaking comic every time he brings one out. Is the longest running independently owned comic book title of all time at number 322. I'll be picking up probably multiple covers of that one, depending on how I feel the day and what my tab is at when I go to ring up there at Galactic Comics. Star Wars number 17, Sword number 8, The Marvels number 5, Thor number 17, the ongoing TMNT series at number 121. I'll be getting that. That's the longest TMNT series ever to go, which is awesome. Picking that one up. Undiscovered Country, loving my Charles Soule books there. It's a great book. Number 16 is coming out, and then Wolverine number 16. Most of these covers I'll be getting cover A, the number 1 cover. Some of them I'll be getting the variant covers as well. But usually, if I get a variant cover, I usually get the cover A as well. But the other cool thing that's coming out this week, and it's pretty fun for me, because this weekend, if you're living in the greater Bangor area, we have our Comic-Con, Bangor Comic and Toy Con, happening the 1st through the 3rd. And my buddy Ben Bishop will be there in-house, and he'll be on with us over the weekend talking. We'll be going live on Friday at some point. We're just trying to nail down the actual time. We'll see our Instagram or Facebook for information about that. But one of the things that we'll have on at some point is, in one of the people we have on is Ben Bishop, who is a series artist doing a lot of the flashbacks on The Last Ronin. So The Last Ronin number 4 came out last week. That was my featured comic book last week. This week, it's not one of my featured comic books, but the 4th printing of issue 1 and the 3rd printing of issue 2 are coming out this week, and I'll be grabbing those as well. I just won't, about anything that comes out, I'll be buying of Last Ronin because it's an excellent book. And I got a chance to read last week's issue, and I cannot wait to discuss more with Ben when I see him this weekend. So that's my list of books I'll be getting this week. And it's a long one, so I'm not going to go over all of them again, but I want to point out Berserker number 5, Crossover number 8, Department of Truth number 13, Undiscovered Country number 16, and then the 2 Last Ronin reprints. I'm really looking forward to those. And my boy Scotty Young's cover, can't wait for that one either. So the big one is, though, Amazing Spider-Man number 74 or /875 Legacy. It's Amazing Spider-Man 875. And the whole ASM team is coming together to bring you a massive issue that is the culmination of 3 years of the Amazing Spider-Man. It's all led to this: Haunted, Sins Rising, Last Remains, King's Ransom, Chameleon Conspiracy, Sinister War, and so much more, all led to this climax in the conclusion of Nick Spencer's landmark run of the best comic book in the world. What will happen to Peter, MJ, Mysterio, J. Jonah Jameson, Norman Osborn, Aunt May, and Kindred? Find out on issue 74/875 of The Amazing Spider-Man. Whew. That was from previousworld.com, their little description of the book. So looking forward to it. Can't wait. Reading some books this week. Exciting. And so whether you buy your books via digital or you buy your books via an online source or you visit your local comic book shop, keep reading every week. The comic book industry is amazing. It needs our help to keep going, to thrive, and to continue. But be safe out there and wear a mask if you're going into a shop. I do every time. I know it's a big controversial subject, but let's get past this. So now that I'm on my little rant there, you can find us on Apple and Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Search Capes and Tights, or for Instagram and Facebook, it's at Capes and Tights Podcast. For Twitter, it's Capes Tights Pod. And for Apple and Spotify, just search in the search column, Capes and Tights Comic Book Podcast. You can also find all of that stuff at links.capesandtights.com. That will bring you right to the direct link of all the different places you can find us online. Subscribe, follow, rate, review, all those things. Give us 5 stars when you get a chance. We really appreciate it. And look forward to this coming Wednesday's episode of Capes and Tights, where Adam and I sit down, we rewatched the Clerks movie and reviewed Clerks, the cult classic film from 1994 by Kevin Smith. Because this weekend, October 1st to the 3rd, at the Bangor Comic-Con, Jason Mewes, Brian O'Halloran, and Jeff Anderson, 3 of the guys from the original Clerks movie, are going to be in town with a panel, signing autographs, taking photos, all that stuff. So we wanted to prepare ourselves for that. So check that out Wednesday on Capes and Tights Podcast, as well as check out Thursday. We're doing my hot comics of the recent time, my 5 hot comics to take a look at, and valuables and stuff like that. So thanks again. I want to keep this short. My name is Justin Soderberg. This has been the Capes and Tights. This is Justin's Pull List. Another week of comic books that I'm going to buy. Thank you, everybody, for listening and the support. We are loving doing this. Let's keep it up. Enjoy.